Hi, boys and girls. So now it is springtime, and with springtime comes lots of flowers starting to grow and the weather getting warmer, and we start hearing lots of birds singing in the trees. So we're going to read this story called Birds and learn about some of the different kinds that we're going to start seeing now that it's warm and springtime out. Birds can fly. They fly high. Some fly miles across the sky. Here's a picture of Canada geese. Every winter, they fly someplace warm. And then when winter is over and it is spring again, they come back home. They come back up north. In the spring, birds build nests, not to rest in. They build nests for their eggs, for their young. Some birds bring twigs and leaves, bits of string. What a nest! So we can see some different kinds. We see little robins up there. We see purple martins. Oh, wow, those are very interesting looking birds. They're all building nests to lay their eggs in. Day and night, mother bird and father bird watch their eggs. They keep them safe and warm. Soon, chip, chip, the eggs crack, and out slip baby birds. See? They stay inside the egg and they grow until they're so big that they are able to come out of their egg and into the world. This is a mockingbird. And these little brown birds over here are called wood thrushes. Have you ever seen either of those birds? They have feathers, or they have no feathers. They cannot fly, but they are hungry. They can eat. Oh my! What do babies eat? Worms and grubs, beetles and bugs, and tiny insect eggs. So we see a red-winged blackbird here, and then some bluebirds there. If you look carefully at the picture, you can see that when baby birds are born, they don't have feathers. A little bit like how when some human babies are born, they don't have very much hair on their heads. It doesn't grow until they get a little bit bigger. You can see the mommy bird is bringing her baby birds yummy worms to eat. They can eat ever so much. Caterpillars, grasshoppers, ants, and flies and such. Soon the young birds grow feathers. They have lessons to learn. They must learn to mind mother and to find their food. So here is a bird called a scarlet tanager. Ooh, scarlet is another word for red. Look at its beautiful red feathers. And here we have little birds called quail. I think they're very cute. Look at how the little birdies, they follow after their mother. They have to stay close, just like you have to stay close to your mother and father when you are outside. Some take turns at learning to swim. These are mallard ducks, and they can swim on the water. And most birds learn to fly. Some birds fly far. Some fly so far we cannot see how they find their way, for they fly hundreds of miles through pathless sky. You can see the plovers here. Okay, another word for when birds, they go someplace else to stay warm during the winter, and then they come back home. It's called migration. A lot of birds migrate. They fly south for the winter, and then when it is spring, they fly back home. Some birds can catch their food as they fly. They snap up moths and other insects going by. They have beaks that can snap shut fast. So we see birds have beaks. Those are their mouths. That's how they catch their food. Many birds like grain and seeds. They have short, sharp bills for pecking. They crack seeds open or swallow foods whole. So here you see a bunch of little chicks, some chickens, and a pigeon. Now we see pigeons lots and lots in the city, and they like to eat the food that people leave out. I've even seen a pigeon eat a French fry one time. Silly pigeon. Fruits and berries are the foods some birds need. They swallow the berries, then they scatter the seeds. So here we have a rose-breasted grosbeak and a cedar waxwing. Those are some pretty fancy names for those pretty fancy looking birds. Summer passes, weeds and grasses fade, fruits disappear. Cold winds shake the trees and bushes. Winter time is near. See, it's getting cold out. The children are wearing their little jackets. The goldfinch, the warblers. What will they do when it gets cold? Something tells the birds to fly southward. Off in flocks they go. Larks and warblers, thrushes, thrashers, gray geese following their leaders. Off they fly with a honk or a cry. So look at all these different birds flying south for the winter, migrating to someplace where it is warm and there is still food growing. We have heron, we have a horned lark. That heron is so beautiful. Some birds stay. Bread and suet and seeds are the food a bird needs in the cold. On the snow, you may see a small chickadee hunting seeds. So not all of the birds go south for the winter. Some of them stay here with us for the winter, like chickadees, woodpeckers. But since there's not very much food for them to find themselves, we can help them by putting out birdseed for them to eat. The spring will bring back many birds to sing. They will nest, raise their broods, hunt their foods, sometimes rest. The right time for each they know best. And there we have a little wren. He's come back because it is springtime. Have you ever seen any of the birds from this story? Do you think if you look outside your window and keep a close eye out now that it's spring, you might have a chance to see some of these birds? I think you will be able to see some of them. Not all of them, but maybe some of them. You'll have to look very carefully and see which ones you can find. All right, I hope you enjoyed our science lesson about birds.